Hi, I'm Max. I'm the creator behind Eat the Rich Art. I use he, him and they, them pronouns, and welcome to a short but very productive what I made this week. So a lot of the stuff that I made did go to market and did end up selling. So I have a clip from Saturday morning of showing you all of those things that I made. However, I didn't give you the numbers on how much yarn they used. So here's that clip. Hi, it is Saturday morning, Max. It's just before the market. I'm going to try and film this as quickly as I can because I need to get on with other things because I'm not prepared at all today. So, things I've made this week. Monday to Wednesday was spent on axolotls. So we made one trans one with white and blue knobbly bits and a pink body. One blue one with white and pink knobbly bits and a blue body. A rainbow one with rainbow knobbly bits, a black body and brown eyes. A non-binary one with a yellow body and then white, purple and black knobbly bits. Bi one with a white body and then the bi flag as its wobbly bits. An asexual one with a white body and then the rest of the ace flag, so black, grey and purple as its knobbly bits. I made a lesbian one with a dark orange body and pink and white knobbly bits. How many times am I saying knobbly bits in this clip? I will go through when I film the rest of this video and tell you all of the numbers for these. But yeah, we have another lesbian one with orange and pink knobbly bits and a white body. Rainbow one with rainbow knobbly bits and a white body. A gay male one with a light blue body and then teal white and dark blue as its nubbles. And then is this the final one? I believe it is. Another bi one with a pink body and then the bi flag as its knobbly bits. That was all of the axolotls. I made most of the bodies on Monday, then did all of the flaps on Tuesday. Or did I? I can't remember. I think I did. I think that's how my week went. Then the other thing I did on Tuesday was this guy. So he is going to be a wizard cat. He's not got clothes yet. He's also not got his ears sewn on because he's not got a hat yet. But he is tabby and white, and again I will tell you the numbers for these next time I film. But I've nearly used this up. I should have done a bit more on the face. I should have probably brought the patch down on this side as well, just to use that last 4 grams up, but that's fine. By the time I realised that I could have done more, I'd already put the eyes in, so I would have had to frog back to the row above the eyes, and then trying to crochet in is quite hard. So I just left it how it is. And he needs assembling today. Then Wednesday I made a second one. Again, he's not got clothes, he's got his ears made but not sewn on, and this is Banana Mystical in the colour Cactus Flower. Then the last thing I made this week was 2 of these penguins by Handmade by Nicole. It's been a batch making week, if you can't tell, just to try and get stuff done. But yeah, so I made 2 of those. Again, numbers will be in the next clip. So this is Handmade by Nicole. The axolotls by Loretta's Loops and the wizard cats by Huggerimi Toys. I have made a couple of other bits this week, but I will show you those whenever I film the next clip. This is probably going to be a very short this week's makes because this is only 4 minutes because I'm rushing. And I won't have much else to show you, but we'll see. Back to the future, Max. And I'm back. Here's the numbers. So we started the week with axolotls. That's the wrong number right there. Let's correct that. So the axolotl that took the least amount of yarn was one of the lesbians, took 19 grams. That was the orange lesbian one. And then the one that took the most took 30 grams of yarn, and that was the rainbow one with the black body. I think that's because the black yarn's quite dense, and so is the dark turquoise, so it took just a little bit more than you'd expect to make that one. But yeah, they took between 19 and 30 grams of yarn. The vast majority of them were between 23 and 26 grams of yarn. So in total for the 11 axolotls, we used 254 grams of yarn, which is an average of 23 grams each. Then we made the 2 penguins. They took exactly 110 grams of yarn each. So they both took 12 grams of red, 9 grams of orange, 8 grams of yellow, 5 grams of green, 6 grams of dark turquoise, 10 grams of lilac, 38 grams of black, and 22 grams of white. So that was another 220-ish grams of yarn, which is not bad going at all for us. Then the other things I made this week that I didn't get to show you in that video was I did finish both wizard cats, and neither of them sold at the market. So I have both of them to show you. As you can see, they're very big. They did use quite a lot of yarn up. So this guy, let's give you a closer look around. He is, if you look under the cape, completely ginger. He's got blue glitter disc eyes. I have got some new, these are 25 mils. I bought some new eyes because I was very low on the bigger sizes, so I've got 20s, 25s and 30s. The 20s are still just the normal people in the middle, but the 25s and the 30s are these moon eyes with the people in the middle, and I love the way they look. I mean, with the pupil off to one side. Obviously a bit more difficult to get in because you've got to make sure they're lined up properly, but it looks so cute. And I'm very surprised these guys didn't sell, but I think that's like, what does Crochet Vision call it? Like the night before curse or something like that, where the things you're making last minute never sell. Obviously the penguins were quite last minute and both of those sold, but this guy's not. Spoilers for the market video, by the way. Then we have this one. So this one is a white and tabby cat, and if you lift the cape up, I've given it a back patch. It's got a tail patch. Obviously you can't see those under the cape, but I know they're there, and that's important. It's got little tabby feet, tabby muzzle, and tabby ears. The other thing you can't see because of the way the hat's sewn on is it's also got a patch on the top of its head and down the side of its eye that's tabby as well. So they're just fun little things people can discover if they mess around with the clothes on him. But that was the second wizard cat. So the tabby guy took 46 grams of tabby, 92 grams of normal white, 15 grams of white sparkle, because I used white sparkle on the cape and the hat so that they'd stand out a bit more. 74 grams of peachy for a total of 227 grams of yarn. And then this guy, because I used a slightly thicker yarn, I used King Cole Yummy for the blue on the cape, and that's a little thicker than Banat, so it turned out a bit heavier. So 129 grams of cactus flower, which is the orange mystical, 116 grams of royal, which is the blue, and 18 grams of sunshine sparkle, because I've also used a sparkly yarn on the edge of the cape to make it look cute, and the same in the hat. I should have done 2 rows really on the hat, but that's a lesson for next time. Then I did also use a little bit of my DK chenille for the embroidery, and this here is can't remember the colour, but it's also a Banat yarn to embroider the nose. So that guy used 263 grams of yarn. We've used up a lot this week. So far, just off the plushies, we're on nearly a kilogram of yarn that I've used this week. The other two things that I actually finished this week were this book sleeve. My sister made the granny square because she wanted to learn, so I gave her this fantasy Aran that I bought the other week from the Secret Yarn Warehouse in Leicester, and then I finished it off to be a book sleeve, sewed it together, blah blah blah. That used 78 grams of yarn, and then my nan also made one at the same time. So she used the Home Bargains ombre blue that I had left over from making that top for my mum. It's turned out really nice actually. And then she made 12 inches of the granny square, but I took it up to 13.5. So I did 3 more rows on it and finished it off, sewed it together, did the ties, all of that. And that also used 78 grams of yarn. So we finished a scrap of yarn on this, and then a little bit more of the last ball of it that I've got. And then this one nearly finished the second ball of yarn that I had left over from when I made the cowl. And the rest of that scrap has been used on my big star blanket. It has an extra row around the edge now. Regular viewers to the channel know that this is my scrappy star blanket that I just add to whenever I find yarn that looks nice. That sort of matches the colours, so I try and go for teals and purples. Obviously the yarn I started with had quite a bit of green in it. This yarn that I've added has quite a bit of pink in it, so I'm not sticking strictly to teal and purple, but it's meant that I've used up the last bit of that second ball, and I have tied on the third ball, and I think I'm just going to use the third ball up and going around and around on this. And that'll mean I've got 2 balls left, but I might give those to my sister because she wants to make a star bag and she really likes this yarn and I've not got a plan for it. So I might just be like, hey, get this off my shelf for me. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how much she ends up using up, because if she has any scraps left, I'll ask for them back to add to the blanket. So I might end up sort of destashing the yarn and then restashing a bit of it, but that's fine. Oh, the other thing I made this week that I forgot to show. Ducks. I made, let's get the right ones out, they're the right colour. Ooh. I've made 7 more tiny crochet ducks. If you've not seen these, I'm making 7 a week in the build up to download next year, so that I hopefully have about 300, maybe 350 to trade, because they went so quickly last year that I would like more. I'm currently working my way through a ball of light blue yarn. That's why the vast majority of these are light blue, because the other colours that I have in here I only had small scraps of, and I had nearly a full ball of the light blue, so it's taking a while to get through. But I did make my 7 ducks this week. Back to outro max. I think that's everything that I had to say. So I'm sorry this is a really short one. I think it's probably going to end up somewhere in the vicinity of like 11 to 13 minutes. I do try and get up to 20 on my what I made this week videos, because I know people like to just sort of sit and have a cuppa to them, but sadly not got all that much to show this week, especially not because the vast majority of it's sold at market. But yeah, so YouTube things, I need to say those now. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked this video, please drop it a like. If you would like to see more of these videos, please hit the subscribe button. It is free to do, 100% free to do. And hit the notification bell if you'd like YouTube to tell you when I've uploaded, because it's not very reliable at putting things in the subscriptions feed. If you don't want to hit the notification bell but want to know vaguely when to check the channel for new content, I upload what I made this week videos between 12 and 2 UK time on a Monday. I upload market vlogs, yarn reviews, market prep vlogs, stash busting challenges, all sorts of stuff, pattern reviews. Yeah, lots coming up on Fridays between 12 and 2 UK time. I have reached a point where I have got a couple of extra videos that if I keep uploading them on Fridays, they're not actually going to go up until like October at this point, but I'd like them to be uploaded sooner because they're sort of more timely. So they'll be going up on a Wednesday, also between 12 and 2 UK time, so that they're sort of more up to date. So keep an eye out for those, but they'll be a bit more sporadic than my other videos, which are definitely every week between 12 and 2 when I remember to upload them, as we found out last week when I uploaded a bonus what I made this week because I missed it 3 weeks ago. Not sure what happened there. It was fully edited and everything, I just didn't upload it for some reason. Probably got distracted, you know me. I am rambling. Continue the outro, Max. My store and my Instagram are linked in the description if you would like to see more of what I'm doing. I will try my best from now on to keep my store up to date because it's back up to date again, including the wizard cats. It doesn't currently have the book sleeves on because I'm reworking this product. I'm going to turn it into a blind date with a book situation instead, where you get probably a second-hand book, a bookmark and a book sleeve all together for £10. So it's the cost of buying a book, but you also get a book sleeve and a bookmark to go with it. So I'm working on that currently, so they're not, I think the old book sleeves are on the store, but these new ones won't be until I've worked out what I'm doing. Just as the star blanket is also not on my store because that's a me project for me to do when I feel like it, when I've got yarn that works for the blanket. But other than that, everything should be up on the store. Instagram, subscribe, like, hype if you've got the option to hype, but I don't think I'm eligible for it. And that is everything I have to say. So thank you very much for watching and have a nice day.